Hello, everyone. Welcome to the virtual college exploration for all Ohio students through OACAC. We are really excited that you're here with us today. We want to make sure that you know how to ask questions. You can use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. You can also sign up for more sessions by going to oacac.org. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists can't see or hear you. Recording is going to be available of this session. You can actually go to www.oacac.org in about a week for this to be available. I am going to go ahead and hand things over to Ohio Northern. And I'll stop my share and see you soon.
Hello, my name is Dean Alstetter, and one of the assistant directors here at Ohio Northern University, and we wanted to help you explore college. And so we created a presentation, Wade and I. Wade, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Sure, thanks, Dean. My name is Wade Rhodes. I'm our senior admissions counselor here at Ohio Northern. And we'd like to thank you for taking time out of your Tuesday afternoon to come learn a little bit more about college in general, but also to learn more about the specifics about Ohio Northern.
And so what we wanted to do first is find out a little bit about you. And so we have created a Slido couple of questions on slido.com. So if you want to take another device, phone or a tablet, and log into that, put that code in, and then we can see and all see some of the answers that we have here together. So if you want to go there right now, let's do that, and we'll test your knowledge about Ohio Northern, Ada, the town that we're in, and see how good everybody is. And next, I'm going to take us there so that you can see. And here we are. And so the question is, besides for ONU, what else is Ada known for? And if you don't know, you can guess. And there might be multiple answers. And so let's see how much you know about Ada and Ohio Northern. A pork rind festival, making footballs, where squaggles were invented, an indoor marathon, and a national pumpkin chunkin championship. What else? What is Ada known for besides ONU? We only have 6 that have participated so far, but I'll wait just a few minutes longer. I think many of you know about our football factory. So those that have put in making footballs, great job. We have the Wilson Football Factory. And if you're ever in Ada, I encourage you to take a tour of that place if they have tours. There's some other links online too. You can see how footballs are made, all by hand. So far, we've had a lot talk about choose the pork rind festival. Ada doesn't have a pork rind festival, although at our Harvest and Herb Festival, you will see pork rinds, but there is a pork rind festival in one of the villages, one of the towns close to us. And I will say during our Harvest and Herb Festival in the past, we've had a national pumpkin chunkin championship. There are a group of engineers, some are retired engineering professors, and they create these catapults and they find out how far they can throw pumpkins across the field. So it is a national event here. Squaggles weren't invented at Ohio Northern or in Ada, but we do have these square bagels in case you're wondering what those are. And we do have an indoor marathon in our sports center. Let's go to the next one here, and you can see it show up on your phone. And the question is, what worries you the most when thinking about college? Dealing with finances, having a roommate, fearing professors, feeling lonely, difficult classes, the freshman 15, organizing and balancing responsibilities. Yes, and we definitely see that there's a concern with paying for college and costs. And we will talk about that later in this presentation too. So very interesting to see your responses there. I'm going to go to the next question here then. And the question is, what are some reasons why you should be excited about college? Is it acquiring a new family, a new ONU family, being different from high school, having more freedom? Many of you said beginning the rest of your life or freedom. There we go. And that's true. And we'll show you some exciting ways how to use that freedom and the many organizations, things that you can do here as you're at ONU. I'm going to go back to the presentation now. And if we have time, we'll have another time to get some more answers from you. But let's see, at this time, let me see if I can, there we go. We are polar bears. I want to make sure that everyone can see that part of the slide. Okay, good. So our enrollment, you can see there, you can see our percentage of women and men, and students love that there's a lot of green space here in our 342 acres on campus. Also, ONU started in 1871 as a teacher's college, and soon after that developed these 5 colleges, and arts and sciences, business, engineering, pharmacy, and law. Our average class size down there, 20 in size. And I'll turn this over to Wade to talk about the Ohio Northern Promise.
Yeah, thanks, Dean. So just want to remind everyone again that for our participants that if at any time throughout the presentation you have a question, feel free to drop that in the Q&A and we'll be able to answer you at that point. But as Dean mentioned, we do have what's called the Ohio Northern Promise, and it's really, I like to think of this promise as something that we've developed that kind of guides who we are as an institution and what you can expect to get from us. And it makes up 3 parts. The first is that most of our degree programs are going to have a 4-year graduation guarantee. That's for most programs outside of the College of Pharmacy, which is 0 to 6 program. So it's a 6-year degree. The second part is that we're going to guarantee that you have hands-on learning experiences. And no matter what academic program you choose, we're committed to providing those, as these are going to build the foundation for your career later on. The third aspect, which oftentimes is, you can think of it tying it up in a bow, is that we're going to have sustained job placement when you graduate. So again, we're committed to your success as a student. We want you to know that we as an institution, we're committed to that, that you're going to be successful both on campus and when you graduate.
And some of those high impact practices could involve the things you do your first day even, and getting to work with others and collaborating with others, and using the technology in many of our general education courses that are outside of your major. Inside your major, you have the capstone courses in your senior years, maybe some undergraduate research, or maybe it's working with a business in our cooperative education programs in engineering and technology, or it might be an internship and getting to know a business through your business degree program, or in many of our other areas in arts and sciences. It's just such a great way to combine your academic experience and your professional development. You can see by the percentages how we compare with our other peer institutions and nationally with research internships and these senior experiences. So Ohio Northern is really a great place to get your feet wet into what you plan to do after you graduate. And that is our focus, is to help you as you prepare for those years after graduation. Part of our schedule will include a J term, which is in between both of our semesters in January, giving students an opportunity to study abroad during those 2 to 3 weeks in that time frame. Or if they want to take an extra class, they could do that. Or if they want a longer break, that's a possibility too. But it'll be a new opportunity. It's new for us coming up in 2021 in January. And so talk to us in the spring so we can tell you how it went. And also probably service learning might be an option there too. Some of our outcomes include us being ranked number 3 in Midwest region. And you can see some of those other ones with Pay Scale, New York Times. And then also with Zippia rating us as number 1 in Ohio, 3rd in the nation, most likely to get students jobs after graduation. And you can see there our placement rate too. 96% of our students are working or going to graduate school between graduation and 6 months after, with almost all of our students reporting. So we're very pleased about that. Some of the ways that you can get involved on campus, we wanted to share that with you. And those organizations include things related to your major. Here's a pharmacy group. Here's a couple engineering groups with Baja vehicles and robotic football. And some other things related to ONU Senate and leadership type of organizations, other ways to get involved and to find other students that have that similar interest too. And then there are just some things that you can do for fun, whether it's the arts, visual, theatrical, or musical in nature. Plus we do have talent awards for some of those organizations if you do want to participate. Say you played an instrument in marching band, but you didn't want to major in music, but you still wanted to stay active. We have talent awards for that very reason and for those opportunities. Or if you wanted to serve in the community, the surrounding community, 50,000 of hours have been given by half of our student body in days like ACE Day, ADA Community Engagement Day, or our Love Day. And you can see Habitat for Humanity that have done projects in the past. Or maybe you're an athlete and you want to be involved in a serious sport in our NCAA Division III. And then there's some students, maybe they don't want it to be as serious, and maybe for fun, we do have those opportunities too with our intramural sports, in our club sports. You'll see a full list right here at onusports.com. And also we have esports as well. Just to give you a bird's eye view of our 2 athletic fields, we're football. You know, we moved our fall sports to the spring, so we'll have it'll be a busy semester with all the things happening. And I think basketball will be the next one that will be coming up here. You could also be involved in our sororities, our 4 national sororities, 7 national fraternities in our Greek life. And here you can see the pyramid competition with some of our events like a Greek Olympics. They have a chariot race during that time too. Or maybe it's in February when Delta Sigma Phi has the polar plunge. Some think it's a rite of passage to becoming a true polar bear, but I don't know about that. And they have many other events that will be held in. And there's a housing option that I'll show you later too, that where they live together as brotherhood and or sisterhoods. And we're affiliated with the United Methodist Church, and we have chapel every Thursday at 11, but it's optional. So if you want to come, great. If not, you'll have that time to yourself. There will never be a class at 11. It will always be open to give the students that option. And there's other groups too related to worship and other parts of the week too. Part of our history includes Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his speech that he gave here on campus. And you can see one of the pictures down there in the late 1960s. And so we celebrate diversity. We want students to come here from a variety of backgrounds. And you can see our percentage of multicultural students so far. Plus, we have international students included in that with 20 countries represented, and I think we have around 80 or so international students at this time. So if you see an organization you're interested in on our website, or if you want to create your own, you can be like Zoe, who created Zumba with Zoe, and out on our wide open area called the Tundra, she'll have people doing Zumba outside, spaced with distance, social distancing, of course, but it's great to see her initiative in doing that. And you too could create your own organization if you wanted to, or if you wanted to be part of the student planning committee. They'll have the color runs that they do, the camel rides in the spring, the mud volleyball tournament, or the university's also brought back alums to campus like Bob Peterson, who wrote that movie Up. And he's so inspiring to listen to. I encourage you, if you're interested in Bob's work, look at his videos on our website. They're just fun to listen to. And you can also see here we have a variety of housing and options and residence halls. Most of our first year students stay in Founders, and they have double rooms and with rooms across the hall from each other, and a bathroom and a laundry and stuff kind of in the middle of that hallway. And then also we have suite style living for our sophomores called Lima Hall. Apartments are shown down here below for our juniors. And you know, some of our seniors, they like it so much that they decide to live on campus their senior year. But if there's a 3-year residency requirement. So if a senior wanted to live off campus, they can. Now here is what I was telling you about with the Greek life and some of the houses, sororities, fraternities that we have. And that's in Infinity Village. And there's some other ones outside of that too. That will just give you an idea there. And just real quick, the meal plan, if you want more information, go to sodexomyway.com, and you'll see different events like the blender bikes. One of my favorite events, you put your fruit and your yogurt and you have to pedal for it to turn, all supporting health and wellness, plus our 360 grill. And you can find out more about those kind of things on our website for dining. And this list might look familiar to you if you visited any other colleges, but Health Center, Counseling Center, and if you have a question about any of these things, please reach out to your counselor. We'll show you a list here in a moment, and we'll love to answer any of the specific questions or you or your parents may have about those. Wade, I'll pass it on to you.
All right, thanks, Dean. Like I said earlier, my name is Wade Rhodes. I'm our senior admissions counselor here at Ohio Northern. And so what I'm going to do is this next little bit of the presentation really just goes through the application process here at Ohio Northern and kind of the steps and what you need to do. So as you can see, there's 2 different ways to apply here at Ohio Northern. One is on the left, our own application through our website, onu.edu/apply. It's free, and if you're not a senior, then it will open up the July 1st before your senior year. So if you're currently a senior, then you're ready to apply and you can do that at any time. On the other hand, we on the right side, we are a member of the Common Application. Now, for some of you that are looking at a lot of different colleges across the state, across the country, the Common Application might be a more convenient route for you, as it's tied to 960 schools across the country. So you're able to apply up to 10 schools at a single time with one application. So it's really convenient for students. Here at Ohio Northern, that application is free. And again, if you're not a senior, it will open up August 1st prior to your senior year starting. So again, if you're a senior, you can log into commonapp.org and begin that application process. Now, a lot of you might be wondering, which application do I do? And the answer is whichever one is most convenient for you. Okay, so if you're applying to maybe 1 or 2 schools, maybe look at just going through each individual website. But I know that there's some students that have applied to 14 schools, in which case we would encourage you to probably look at doing the Common App. And so we don't prefer one over the other, just as long as you do apply to Ohio Northern. And so, next slide, Dean. So basically, there are some schools that have set deadlines, and we operate on what's called rolling admissions. So, meaning that we accept applications year round for out of our 4 undergraduate colleges. Now, the College of Pharmacy does have a priority deadline of December 1, so of your senior year. So, again, all of these dates are kind of in your senior year there. So if you're junior, sophomore, you still have some time to worry about that. But we would encourage every student to apply by December 1st for maximum scholarship consideration. However, just know that you're still able to apply after December 1st. And all we need from you are 3 simple things. 1 is your application, 2 is your transcript, and 3 are copies of your ACT or SAT scores if you wish to submit them. So for fall 2021, we are test optional for all of our programs except early childhood education and middle childhood education. Meaning on the application, when you get there, for those applicants of fall 2021, that there's a question that's going to ask if you want your test scores considered or not. So you have that complete option, especially during this time, this fall, when ACT dates, SAT dates are getting canceled left and right. Test optional is a great way that you can at least apply to the university of your choice, and including Ohio Northern, and at least get that process started. We don't require essays, and we don't require letters of recommendation outside of the College of Pharmacies, but those are items that add value to your application. We'd be more than happy to look at those materials and read through those, but you're not required to submit those. So for those of you that are interested in the College of Pharmacy, it does have a separate admissions process, or a little bit of a difference, in which case you are required to send letters of recommendation. You're required to do an essay as well as an interview. So all of that whole process is coordinated and managed by the College of Pharmacy. So if you have any questions, I would encourage you, number 1, to come visit campus and sit down and have that conversation, but 2, to simply reach out, give us a call, shoot us an email, and we'd be more than happy to walk you through that. For those students, as Dean mentioned, that are interested in music and musical theater, those are available to students across all disciplines, all majors, because we want you to be able to express yourself and continue to do the things that you love to do and that you're passionate about. And for a lot of you, that means music. And so there is an audition process for that. And you can either come on campus, or you can go online to getaccepted.com, upload a video, and the music department will review that process. And as Dean mentioned earlier, there is talent award available for both music majors and non-music majors, as well as musical theater, art and design, and our English department as well. So this, here at Ohio Northern, when we are reviewing applications, we really like to take a holistic review, a comprehensive look at everything that's going on with you as a student. And so this slide kind of gives you an insight into what that looks like. So we're going to look at your GPA. We're going to look at your test scores if you choose to have those considered, but we also understand that you're more than what those 2 numbers kind of signify and define. So we're going to look at your extracurricular activities. And for those of you that haven't started the application process, something that you might think about doing is sitting down and kind of creating a running list of all of those activities that you're involved in. So that way, when you get to the application, you simply just have to copy and paste it. You don't have to sit there and wonder, what did I do my freshman year? You kind of already have that. And so what we're looking for is we're looking for students that are involved, that they've taken leadership opportunities. They simply weren't one-dimensional. And so that they didn't just do one thing, and that they spread themselves out and they did various activities. And same way with the community involvement. We want to see that students were willing to give back to their surrounding communities, because that's something that as an institution we believe in. And as you saw earlier, half of our student population logged 50,000 service hours. So we're really committed to this. Our students are engaged with that. And it's something that shows that, you know, I'm willing to step up and give back. The bottom half of this slide really just gives you an insight into what the an average ONU student would look like. So our average GPA across campus is a 3.7. Our middle 50% is a 23 to a 28 on the ACT, with an average of about a 26. So what we see is our students are coming into Ohio Northern prepared, successful at the high school level, and they're going to kind of continue that while they're here on campus, and ultimately lead them to success when they graduate. So yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll talk about some scholarship opportunities. So our scholarships here range from $14,000 to $22,000, with the College of Pharmacy extending out to about $24,000 a year. And these are automatically awarded upon acceptance. So for all of you, as soon as you apply and get accepted, we're automatically going to award you one of these scholarships that are based on your weighted GPA, and we will super score your ACT scores. Obviously, if you apply test optional, then these scholarships will be based on your weighted GPA. These are renewable for the 4 years that you would be here on campus, which is a great benefit, as you see in that kind of the second line down, that you know, it's worth a considerable amount of money over those first 4 years. So pharmacy students, that would cover your, obviously your first 4 years, and then your fifth and sixth year, there are some additional funding options available. Now, at the top of the screen, you'll see a link that I encourage all of you to check out. It's our cost calculator, and it allows you to go in, plug in your GPA, plug in a test score if you wish to, and get an idea on where which of these scholarships you might be eligible for. A couple things to keep in mind. Number one, it's an estimation, so it's not necessarily locked in by any means, because there's some opportunities that you can change the numbers and increase your ACT scores, things like that. In addition to that, and in that calculator, you're able to get an idea on what the net out-of-pocket cost could be. If a lot of you were worried about paying for college, this calculator is a great resource for you that you can go in there and see, is Ohio Northern a place that's financially viable for me, and be able to then start that conversation with financial aid to see what kind of options outside of this academic scholarship are available to me to help afford this cost of college. So in addition, the other thing that's really neat about this cost calculator is that you're able to go back into the form and play around with some of the numbers. So let's say you took the ACT once, you got a 24, and you get an estimate, you get the results, you go back in and say, okay, I'm gonna take the ACT again in October, and I'm gonna hope to get a 28 on it. Plug in that 28 and see how that ACT score increase changes your scholarship. So you're really able to kind of play out all of the scenarios to see kind of what it is that I need to match the goals that I have set financially. So again, our financial aid office, they're a bunch of, they're rock stars. They're really knowledgeable, and they're the best contact specifically to these scholarships, as they're going to really be able to sit down and help you find the proper resources for you. So this map kind of shows how we, as an admissions staff, kind of cover all of our students. And so based on where you are in Ohio, it's color coded. So you'll be able to, if you want, you can take a quick picture of this slide so you have the contact information for your admissions counselor based on where you live. We're all here. Our goal as an admissions staff is to really make this oftentimes really stressful admissions process a little bit easier, because it's a really big decision. It's a really tough decision at times. And so what we're here to do is to help kind of shoulder some of that stress with you and help make sure that you have all of the information that you need to make the most informed decision possible, because that's ultimately what we want. We want you to find a place in an institution that you feel at home, that you belong, that it just you get that sense of belonging, and ultimately it's the right fit. And so in order to do that, we encourage every student to simply come visit us, come step foot on campus. And on the next slide, it has our visit link, onu.edu/visit. We are hosting in-person visits, even right now with pandemic. And so we encourage you to check us out, come physically interact with that 342 acres that Dean mentioned. We also have options for virtual visits. So if you're far away and you're not able to make it, we can still do a virtual visit with you, where you'll still get the same information just from the comfort of your own home. So we, again, on our tours or visits, we have every student meet with an academic or a faculty in your academic department. So that way you get an idea to learn about the curriculum, learn about opportunities, learn about experiences, possibly see some of the facilities that you might get to use as a student. And you got to see some pictures of what that looks like a little bit earlier in the slides. But one of the only ways that you're going to find kind of the right fit for you is to come see campus. So not only do we want to see you here on our campus, but we encourage you to visit any college and university that you're remotely interested in. So again, Dean and I, we thank you for taking the time to listen to us and learn more about what Ohio Northern is, who we are, what we have to offer. We'd love to see all of you on campus at some point in the future if you haven't visited us before, because we think that we've got a lot of great things going on here on campus. And I think that with us being a small school, one of our taglines is to expect the unexpected. And I think that we're tucked away here in the fields of Northwest Ohio, but there's a lot of wonderful opportunities available to students here on campus, and we would love to extend that invitation to you. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those into the Q&A feature. But feel free to reach out to Dean and I. Here's our email addresses, our office numbers, and then also we do have the functionality to send text messages with you. So we want to be as accessible as we possibly can for you as a student as you continue through this college search process. So again, thank you. We hope that you enjoy your school year, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you on campus.
Great. Thanks, Wade. We have some time, and I'm so excited because we want to find out even more about you, if you're willing to share. And so here I have another way that you can participate. And the question is, what majors interest you the most? And so if you want to go to a different site now called menti.com and use the code right there, the 6681346, input the majors that you're interested in, and we'd love to see what they are as they pop on the screen. And you're always welcome to ask us more about those particular programs, those majors, some of the options, some of the concentrations or minors that you can combine those majors with. If you have more than one interest, that is great. There's a lot of students here pursuing more than one area. I talked about Bob Peterson. Not only was he an engineering major, but also had an interest in graphic design. And after his engineering classes, he would work on his characters. And I think that created a great niche for him as he now works for Pixar. So I think it's great to to have more than one interest and to be able to pursue that. And a place like ONU is a great place where you can do that. I see some interested students in some are interested in engineering and business, psychology, and political science. This is fantastic. Some of our political science students have gotten experiences out at the Washington Center, working there in Washington, D.C., and with different offices and lobbyists. And we've had students represented at both the Republican and Democratic conventions in the past. And many of our fields relate to the sciences, the medical sciences, especially like nursing, and we have some pre-med students here. We have students exercise physiology. So we offer much in that area. And let's say that you're not quite sure, and that's okay. We have general, when you apply, you'll see that there are other options like general sciences. You know you wanted to be in the sciences, but not sure what yet. Or if you just have no idea, if you're just not sure at all, we have general studies that you can apply under. And you can always change that later if you then decide weeks or months later, we'll change that for you on your application. Or once you're here as a student, you can work with your advisor and also change your major that way too. You're interested in business, but not sure what kind of business. We have a way where you can discover the different areas in business, and you can apply an undecided business or engineering exploratory for those not sure exactly what specific area in engineering. So keep that in mind too as you're applying, and we'll work with you.
So Dean and Wade, we had a great question come in about how classes have changed with the pandemic going on right now and how they'll continue to change next year. Do you guys want to talk about kind of our advantage as a smaller private university and how we've been able to handle that?
Yeah, Dina, if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and answer.
Go ahead.
So as you saw on one of the very first slides, because we're an institution with just about 3,000 students, one of the benefits is that we're able to have really intentional and really engaging small classroom settings. And so with that benefit comes the ability that even though we're in a pandemic, we're still able to have in-person classes and be able to socially distance within that classroom. So you're still getting the same in-person instruction and education that Ohio Northern's come to be known for, and that you've come to expect from as a student. So by and large, our classes are in person. But there are some pockets of campus that have opted for a more remote option. But by and large, we're able to make the accommodations that we need and still have that face-to-face instruction without sacrificing the quality of the education. So that's a great question. I know that we've been really fortunate here on campus that all of our students, our faculty, staff have bought into kind of our reopening plan, and we've done really well as far as cases and all of that. So moving forward after this semester, our goal would be to continue to have in-person instruction, and that's a conversation that is being had at the administration level on what that looks like moving into this coming spring semester. But we're hoping, and we're fairly confident that we'll still be able to continue our in-person face-to-face instruction.
Great, thanks, Wade. I have another question. If you want to participate, keep your phone out, keep your tablet out. And here's the question. Again, through Menti.com, what extracurricular activities or organization interests that interest you the most as you think about college. And we could speak on what we see too as those come in and pop up on the screen. Plus, we'll try to answer any other questions that we see come in as well. But if you just want to let us know what excites you about, what interests you in terms of things outside different majors that you're interested in.
Wade and Dean, we did have another question come in, and that is, can you talk a little bit more about study abroad?
Dean, do you want to tackle study abroad?
Sure. Yeah, study abroad office. We've had around 30 countries we've sent students to, and we have an office that is dedicated toward helping students with that experience. I mentioned it just a little bit ago with our new opportunity in January during the J term, where a student can take that time to gain that experience. I know other students have also taken the time during the summer months to do that. I did that myself. We've had students in Costa Rica, in Europe, in Asia, and many other countries. If you would like to go to our website, type in study abroad in the search bar, it will take you, you should see the link, and it will tell you all the countries and the partnerships that we have in those countries where students can gain that experience. And we also have some additional funding too to help offset some costs and some scholarships that are available, and you should see that on our website as well. But yeah, please feel free to reach out. There is a contact name person that can help you with any specific questions on how you think that would work with the program that you're interested in. And I see right now some of the things that you're interested in here, and that's fantastic. It creates a well-rounded college experience, and it's just great to have that kind of interest going in. Some things you might not even know about until you get here. And you know what, we have an event where you can go around to different tables and talk to students interested in those various organizations, and get more information. They'll get your email, and you can explore even more here during our Welcome Festival before classes start in the fall.
So, Dean, we had another question come in. So I think that it's about a little bit more specific, but how student wants to follow in Bob Peterson's footsteps and work at Disney World. And I think that that's a great opportunity. And I think that what I would encourage you to do is find kind of what more specific, and then come visit us, and we'll be able to answer that in person as well.
And we want to keep the conversation going, and so you have our information. You have our information in front of you too. I'll stop share so that you can write that down if you would like to, so you can see. Oh, here it is. If you want to reach out to us with more specific questions, we want to keep the conversation going, and reach out to your counselor, and so we can answer that through text, through email, however the best way you think is for you in communication. It's always good to gather this information in this time in your senior year, and even before, and to begin creating your list, things that you want to do in college. And the coaches are great too. If you're interested in athletics, we can reach out to the coaches. We'll put you in contact with who you want to talk to. So please reach out to us. We look forward to working with you in this exciting time of your life. And so please stay in touch, and we hope to see you soon on campus.
Okay, everyone, thank you for participating. There will be a quick question survey after you close out of this window. You can sign up for more sessions by going to oacac.org. And then there'll also be a recording available of this session as well at oacac.org. Thank you for joining us.